Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball. I hope you're well. Thank you again for tuning in. This is my season preview, right? Giving guys all the ins and outs of what I think from coach to the bench, and why I've got some interesting selections, and also just the fixture overview and all that stuff there. In saying it though, please, I urge you, subscribe, like, share, and also follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of NRL Warriors related content, especially and even some stuff about rugby league in America. But in saying that though, before we get into it, DJ, hit that intro. Alright guys, hope you're well. Thank you again for tuning in, for watching, for listening. Look, if you just want something just to settle and chill to, this is the right place. Okay, so look, as we know on my channel, I'm back. Slowly but surely I'm back. I'm going to be doing a lot of post-game reviews of the Warriors games, right? And doing a lot of Instagram stuff. I think that's where I'm going to be at mainly. I will be doing some lives as well, watch-alongs, and maybe even collaborating with other content creators. But generally speaking, that's where you'll be finding me, is more the post-game reviews. The odd video here and there, but mainly that is my focus. A lot of stuff on Instagram, I think. But anyway, look, we'll get straight into it. Now, obviously, the Warriors, we know, had a sensational 2023. But as we all know, the business of rugby league, NRL, means you just got to keep on going. And so this year here, we come in with, I think, a lot of expectation as fans. Now, some of us may be full out going, full in, saying it's going to be a good year, top four. Some of us may be a bit more conservative and perhaps have a different approach, and we're sort of saying, hang on, let's just wait and see. Some of us may be in the middle. But as we sort of get into things, right, we got a coach, and obviously, Webster, we trust him, and I think we all should. And if you don't, and you're a Warriors fan, or even if you're not a Warriors fan, there's something wrong with you, go and see a doctor. No, I kid, but no. Look, Webby, right? And I think that's probably the best time to actually talk about him. So, we have a coach. The coach, Webby, he's committed to stay here. He's excellent. He's professional. He expects high standards of the players. He doesn't mess around. And what I really like about him as well is, despite receiving the Coach of the Year award, he still didn't feel like he deserved it. And I think that's saying something. That's somebody who feels that it's all good and well, but he has another ladder to climb. And I really respect that part. And again, the coach, he's been sensational, dealing with this and that. I think he's been able to withstand a lot of things last season. And obviously with that as well, the Warriors have managed to get some new recruits and all recruits, if you will, right? So we've got the likes of Kalani going, Patrick Moimoi, Siokali, right? Shanaris Tavita, Roda Tuivasa-Sheck, Kurt Capewell, Jacob Laban, Zaunamau, Leka Halasima, as well as Etuate Fukufuka. So again, there's just like a plethora of upcoming newbies, right? As I touched on before, but there's also that, experience in the likes of Kurt Capewell, and obviously RTS coming back from that other code to this code, the best code in rugby league. And obviously Shanaris Tavita coming back as well from his 1 year layoff. So, look, it's good. So there is something that's happening there that is brewing there at the Warriors. But again, it's sort of like something that you can see. These are building. There's something that's transpiring that we can see, which is actually really good to take hold of. Now, some of the burning questions I have, first and foremost, is obviously is how is RTS going to impact the team? Now, we've seen the 2 preseason games. Absolutely love it. And if you don't, you need your eyes checked. He's been everywhere, defensively, offensively. We even got to see a little bit of RTS of old, so to speak, over at the fullback, playing fullback. But again, his impact, I think, will be immense. But again, just what sort of, how will he there's the difference between preseason and actual games, right? Round 1, right, is not preseason, right? Those two things are completely different in how you approach the game, I think, anyway. How will he gel well, with the likes of Sean Johnson, Kurt Capewell, etc., right? And obviously delivering the ball, feeding the ball to Montoya or whoever that may be. Yeah, just impact in it, and I guess that's the question there. What sort of role? How will he play it? And I think it's going to be good. But again, just food for thought. Another question I have too is the halves for the Wars, right? Metcalf, is it Te Maire Martin? Is it Shania Harris-Tavita? Is it somebody altogether new? But the point is, it's just, we all know Shaun Johnson's going to be keeping a spot. There's no debating that. But again, the question is where, who is your 5'8"? Obviously for mine, it is Metcalf. But will we sort of see during the period of the season, if, say for example, Metcalf's form just isn't quite there, will we see Te Maire Martin come up? Or the question is, if Metcalf is doing well, and I expect him to, and I think he will, where do we see Te Maire Martin? Where do we see Shania Harris-Tavita? Right? And those are the questions I have. And that'll bring me to my bench. The bench this year is going to be interesting, right? Because I think realistically, we don't have the biggest, heaviest pack, to be fair with you. But in saying that, though, it may all change, especially with Zion, coming back from round 3, right? Our game against the Raiders. That could all change. But the point is, for now, we've got Lasik, right? We've got Tevanga, we've got R4, we've got Ale, we've got Walker, we've got Shania Harris-Tavita, we've got Te Maire Martin. Those tend to be the usual suspects. Niukore as well. I haven't even touched on Niukore. Apologies. Those are the usual suspects that we tend to sort of flick around between anyway. We did that heavily last year as well. So again, the question is, where do they sort of all fit, right? Especially those names I mentioned that were in there last year. How will the coach sort of rotate his players? Is it going to be big, burly, heavy, especially with Zion Mau'u, possibly even Halasima, right? Dare I even say it, maybe we might even get some game time from Etuate, right? Fuka, one of the newbies. Jacob Laban, again, there's just so much questions I have. Kalani going, haven't even touched on him. How does the coach sort of get his head around this, right? Tevanga, right? Walker. It's just, I don't know, like ideally speaking, my own personal preference, if I was to select my bench, it'll be Lasik, right? It'll be most likely Ale, right? Tom Ale. And then it'll be, I'll tell you what, if ready, I'll pick Zion Mau'u, actually scrap that. I might even have Lasik. Ideally, I would have Niukore. I would have Mau'u. And I think for 17, well, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people would go Walker. I'm thinking otherwise. I get Walker can play a few games, but based on recent performances, and I think that's just recency bias, to be fair with you, just hasn't been good enough. And I get it, it's preseason, the jitters, all that stuff, but my only hope is that he doesn't carry this on through to the actual regular season. So maybe I would give him a pass now that I think about it. But I'm saying that if I wasn't to, I'd probably put in Tevanga, in my honest opinion. I probably would. Probably the most experienced too, obviously, going around. So that'll be it. It'll be Lasik. It'll be Lasik. It'll be Niukore. It'll be Mau'u, and probably Tevanga. Here or there. But anyway, the point is, the bench is a mystery in itself, just like the starting pack to a degree. Speak of mystery, we roll over to Ali Leatawa. Now, where does Ali fit? That's the question I have for you guys. Where does Ali fit? He's a young, upcoming, hot prospect. Somebody who would fit easily into another team. I could name about 2 or 3 teams that I reckon could use him. I'm not going to, but I could. Controversial, but I reckon he could fit in them. But at the same time as well, you want to see him play. You don't want to see him sitting out there watching the boys play. He's not the type of player. I think for me, Leatawa, for me, is somebody who can easily start and fit into the squad. Now, where would you place him? I would place him, if I had a choice. Obviously, he's not taking over Berry. He's not taking over RTS. All right, so good night to that. Close the lights, turn off the lights, shut the door, close the door. That ain't happening. What other options does he have? Right? I think for mine, unless you put him as utility, right, like a number 17 possibly, which I don't think is the case, put him in the wing. You're not taking over Dylan Watson and Selesnik, are you? So you're taking over Montoya. Now that is controversial, and I get a lot of people may think that's just silly, but the reality is he needs to play. And I don't like the question being thrown back, where do you put him? Where do you put him? Who's going to replace him? Who does he replace? You just need to put him in. You need to. There's someone of that quality. You cannot let him go. Okay, you cannot let him go. Le'Atawa, trust me. Yeah, there's just something about this dude, and I don't want to see him let go. And I think I can say that, a lot of the other players, Laban, Halasima, I haven't seen much of him, but I feel the same. Au'u as well. That's the beauty of rich roots or rich depth, and I suppose the ugly end is when you have too much depth that some players miss out. But I hope Ali does not fall to that. Right? Anyway, that is my thoughts there. So my questions there. Now the Warriors, as we know, this year we got is there such a thing as an easy draw and a tough draw? I don't know. The reality is, and just to steal a term from the coach there, the coach. So when asked, I think, about being the hunted or the hunter, he said, "Forget about it. Let's just go and hunt them first." Basically, right? Who cares about that? Let's hunt first. Yeah, and I absolutely agree with that. So just quickly, we've got the Sharks, and I'll show you guys as well on the screen. Sharks, Storm, Raiders, Knights, Rabbitohs, Seagulls, Dragons, Titans, Knights, Roosters, Panthers, Dolphins. I go all the way down. Our first game is against the Sharks, and our last game is against the Sharks as well. I'm not a fan of that, but it's the way it goes. Anyway, the reality is, we're in for a season where I think a lot of people think we're going to fall off, and we're in for a season where I think a lot of people think we're going to still ride strong. Right? It's like that. Some people don't have us in the 8. Some people have us in the 8. I don't blame those who don't have us in the 8, though, because the reality is, historically, we tend to fall off after being there or thereabouts in the 8. It's happened before. Most recently, 2018, and then for years on end, we have done nothing until last year, to be fair with you. It sucks being irrelevant in the NRL. It does. If you're sort of like second to last or the bottom, you're talking about, but if you're sort of there in the middle-ish, it's top 8, you just got to... Anyway, but you get my point. These games here, honestly, I think the Warriors, in my opinion, if we could win like 70 to 75, that's it. Look, I really think, I think 75 to 80%, I think is a definite prove. If we can win 75% of our games, that's business. That's serious business. Okay, for me personally, conservatively, my approach is we can finish 6 or above. You might be thinking, why am I not going all in? Well, it is what it is. Unfortunately, being a Warriors fan, you just gotta, it's traumatic. It's traumatic being a Warriors fan. So you just gotta sort of be a little bit reserved there. But in saying that, though, top 6, I reckon we can even be in the top 4 easily. But I'm gonna say top 6 or above to be conservative. A pass mark for me is prelim, right? Prelim or grand final. I don't want to get too beyond myself, but I think that's it. I think that's realistically it, especially with the new talent, especially with the talent we have now. Again, this wasn't necessarily touching on players on an individual basis. It was more so a collective, right? So obviously the likes of Sean Johnson, RTS, DWZ, right? Edinburgh, Black Toy Harris, right? Jackson Ford, Wade Egan, the players of those ilk, obviously they've all got to be clicking in tandem with each other, obviously in a row together as a collective, all those words there, in order for us to actually progress well. And again, it's a season about being fit, staying fit, and hopefully keeping out of trouble, I think. But yeah, the reality is we need to be able to beat the weak teams, and we need to be able to be there with the strong teams. Last season, we fell to the teams like Storm, teams like Roosters, teams like the Penrith Panthers, the Broncos, the Rabbitohs. Whereas this year, I really am hoping, and even we fell to the Knights, right? We won and lost them. This year, I'm really hoping that we can finish our season on a high, top 6 or above. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, we finish the top 4 again. But we need to really be able to beat the teams that we normally get. I suppose a bit. What's the word? We tend to get a bit nervous around. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts there. That's it. I believe we can. I'm hoping to at least come to at least one Warriors game live. Hopefully one against the Dolphins and Brizzy. Wasn't able to make it to Magic Round this year, which sucks, but I'll be there next year. You will see me there. But in saying that though, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But yeah, just give me your thoughts. I mean, those are my questions there. Follow me on Instagram, right? Hold the ball. And follow me in here and like me. And yeah, we'll just keep going. Journey. But yeah, there's my overview, my preview, sorry, of the season. Big things to come, for sure. And don't forget, hold the ball and up the wires. See you guys next time.